Hello everyone, so it's me, Justin. I am a student at Western Governors University and I'm doing the Masters of Curriculum and Instruction program. And I make videos on my process and my progress throughout the program and how the program is going overall, but also some tips and tricks on how you can take the accelerated route. But today I thought maybe this is a good opportunity for me to pause and talk a little bit about some of the challenges that I personally face as I'm kind of going through the program. So right now I can't even keep track. I feel like I've completed over 13 different assessments, maybe even more. I'm on the 6th course and it's a lot of work. I think people just think that competency-based education is, it's easy because you can just quickly read a couple textbook chapters and then go for it. But whether you're doing an objective assessment or a performance assessment, you're exerting a lot of energy to have to concentrate and do things in a way to prove your competence in a quick fashion. Like, it's not something for papers particularly that you can do in a flash. Now, for someone like me, who I mentioned I can do a paper in 4 to 5 hours, it's because I can concentrate for a very steady, focused amount of time. But that takes a lot of energy. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because, like, I noticed in the last week, I feel like I've hit a wall. And I kind of expected this to happen. Actually, it's not even I kind of expected. I knew this would happen. I think I even mentioned this in my first video. It's like, something's gonna happen. It's not all gonna go according to the master plan of finishing everything on time. As of right now, I've been able to get through most of my weeks completing 1 or 2 assessments, which has been pretty miraculous in my mind. Sometimes I wonder how I have that much drive to do that, because I don't think it just is about discipline too. I think you have to have a reason. Now, for me, I'm very clear on my reason is that I work in the education field, particularly higher education, and I don't have a formal credential. Even though I have another master's degree, I don't have like formal training in education. So for me, because I value some degree of stability and security in my career, because of other reasons that I haven't really talked about, but it's important to me, I see having a toolkit or portfolio of training, experience, and credentials as part of my security. So, if I ever got laid off or ever I change my job or move or go to a different university, that I know I have the credentials that would help me get into the hiring process with ease, or a little bit easier than if I didn't have that expected credential. But not only that, I enjoy learning. I enjoy writing. I enjoy sharing my ideas, connecting ideas to new ideas, like this combinatorial effect of one idea combining with another. I love that process. But it doesn't matter how much you love it, or even sometimes how much your reason is, you're going to at one point start to get tired. And I feel like I hit that point. And the reason why I say that is up until maybe a couple weeks ago, I was able to be pretty consistent with submissions. And then this weekend, I started to write part of my paper. Maybe it got 1/3 through, not even, I feel. And something in my mind just said no. It just said no. It said, no, I'm not writing today. And then obviously you have that conversation with yourself and try to coach yourself through it and say, well, no, you should get through it. You should just maybe take a break. So I took a break. I took a walk. I took a nap. I ate. I talked to some friends. And that didn't help. I still could not get myself to finish the assessment. And I was laughing at myself. I was thinking, well, this isn't interesting. I haven't really experienced this in this program. What is the reason here? And I think part of the reason was I never really gave myself permission to just slow down a little bit. I did a bit, like in my last video, I said I'm going to be doing less assessments because maybe I was doing 2 in a week before, and now I'm doing 1. But slowing down, like really slowing down, and just giving myself permission to say, not this weekend. Now, that's very hard to do when you're on the accelerated path. If you're on the accelerated path, you really have to work and work hard. And I think for me, I have to start to wonder if I'm okay with extending it, which I did say in other videos, I am okay with extending it for another term. And for me, I don't have any financial limitations. I shouldn't say that. Everyone has limitations financially, but I can extend it financially. It's not going to really dent my bank account because I've saved up enough money to do a program like this. And it still would be less expensive than doing another master's from another brick and mortar school. So I'm okay with that. But I mean, obviously it's very enticing to get it done and not have to pay for another semester. But also at one point, you just have to question, it's a trade-off. Like, is it worth it burning myself out, really disliking the process in order to get it all done? And for me, the answer is no. I think I want to just take my time when I need it. So for example, I just decided this weekend, you know what, you're not going to finish it because you want to take a break. You want to go hang out with your friends. You want to not write. It's nice for one weekend to not think, okay, am I going to be writing on Saturday or Sunday? Okay, Saturday I'm not, thank goodness, so that I can just take a break. And then all Saturday you're thinking, okay, I better enjoy this moment because I'm going to have to be writing tomorrow. And even if you can write for 5 hours, that's still like a 5-hour block of time you have to concentrate and exert energy. When you do other things, maybe you have to go grocery shopping on Sunday, or maybe you have to do some house chores. So for me to give myself a weekend to say, you know what, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And it's funny, the phenomena in the human mind, it's like when you do that, all of a sudden you're okay with maybe in a couple days to start working again. I think that rigidity of mind, or that lack of flexibility in your mind, or in my mind at least, makes the process, it's like you're kind of a little child in your mind saying, no, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to. And then once the parent says, okay, it's okay, then don't worry about it. Then maybe the child will eventually just say, oh, okay, well, it's not such a big of a deal. Maybe I will do it. So this week I've started to notice throughout the week, now the weekend is done, that I'm actually a little bit more inclined and more interested in maybe just starting to do my paper a little bit more. I've already started, but continuing along. And instead of grinding it all out in one weekend, maybe I'll just do it over a couple days. Generally, I don't like to do papers in the weekend or the weekday nights after work because I just find it like work stacked with work in the day, and I don't really like that. I think there's more to life than that. But, I feel kind of intrigued. My job, hasn't been overly stressful, even though I'm teaching now. I feel like maybe I could work a little bit in the evening, but I don't have to do the whole thing, maybe just even a paragraph. And it's funny, when you start a paragraph, it turns into 2 paragraphs, and then you've now written half your paper. So, tonight I still have said to myself, you know what, you could start writing, but I don't think I will. I think I have some teaching things. Sorry if you can hear outside. I live on a very busy street, so I'll have to hopefully listen to this back and it doesn't bother you too much, or bother me at least. But what I was saying is, like, as I'm kind of going through the week, I might just do little bits, and that might be a new way for me to work. And maybe I'll try it, finding a different rhythm that works with where you're at in your program. So maybe doing weekend after weekend worked until it didn't work. And it worked for 13, 15, 14 papers, which is a ton of papers. That is like, if you're writing 10 pages for each papers and you're writing 3,000 words or more, that's a ton of writing. And so if you are in that situation and you have written that much, give yourself a pat on the back. Like, that's amazing that you've done that. But maybe you need to change your rhythm if you're starting to hit a wall, and maybe just have a different approach, which could include taking a break. And maybe there will be a time where you do pick up the pace again, and you'll want to just start working, paper after paper. So allow yourself some flexibility in the process. Even in the 6-month path, it is possible to build in a bit of flexibility. You are more limited, but for me, I'm okay with extending it, and that helps me just feel good about what I'm doing and not just dislike the process. So hopefully that gives you some realness and so it's not just always like, oh, it's a fun game that you're playing by doing all these assignments and checking off your lists and feeling this awesome feeling. Like, there are going to be times where you get tired and you just don't want to do it. If anything, you might even question the whole point of it. You might be like, why am I doing this? Should I even do it? That's very normal. I've had that thought too. But I know at the end of the day that there is a reason, and I will be able to do it because I've been able to get this far, this fast, doing kind of quite a bit of work. And I have a feeling that the pace will pick up soon. So you'll have to follow me in order to see how that goes. I'm going to give an update on my end of my month at the beginning of next month. So if you want to hear that, then subscribe. Otherwise, I will just see you in the next video. So hopefully you stick around and leave some comments if you do have questions. I'll try to answer them. Okay, take care.